Hey, it's Ed with ContentMaxima.com. In this video, we're going to cover the Matrix module. So if you go to ContentMaxima.com, you go under Solutions and select Matrix. We're going to give you a complete overview of what this module of our software suite does for you. So in short, we are amplifying your reach by optimizing for robots and for human beings. Most people are optimizing for one or the other. They're not optimizing for both. And most people are actually just focusing on content and optimization of content for human beings. But they forget, regardless of the content you're creating, whether it's articles and blogs for SEO, or if it's social media posts, or if you're working with AI these days, you need to clearly explain your concepts and state your purpose and give your intent to the robots before the robots can deliver you new customers, new people, new network, right? So you need to optimize to the robots in this day and age in order to get the people that you're looking for. And a lot of folks are completely ignoring the fact that we are owned by these robots and owned by big tech these days. So our Matrix module breaks down any concept at a data science level and gives you a list of words. We call them trigger words, that if you use those words within your content, you will do better, regardless of what platform you're marketing on and regardless of what technologies you're using. Your message will be better optimized for the robots and the algorithms out there in existence to understand your message and then get you the people that you're after. So this particular module, we say content creators find themselves at a crossroads, how to optimize their work to cut through the noise of search engines and social media and now AI platforms, AI robots. So the Matrix comes in and it runs 63 types of language models. So that's over 60 different analysis types that breaks down whatever your subject matter is, whatever you're trying to be an expert on, any industry, any niche, any keyword, any entity, any idea, any concept, literally anything you can come up with. It will break it down in a scientific level, unlike ever done before. You will not see any software on the mainstream market. You will not see any software anywhere that does this type of analysis because I invented it. It is not out there. It is not based off somebody else's. I'm not copying or mimicking. We're talking about a complete breakdown of your subject matter. So that being said, I don't want to bore you with our website. You can go look at it yourself, contentmaxima.com. Again, go to Solutions and go to Matrix. You can see more about this, but this module will help you precisely craft your message so that it goes further. It gets you more exposure, gets you in front of more people. Once you have the software installed on your computer, you'll go to the directory, you'll launch it. And in this video, we're covering this Matrix module, none of the other modules, but we do have videos for those. You can check them out. Once you click this module, it will pop open. It's a very simple module. You can't mess this up. I don't care if you're tech savvy or not. We've made this as absolutely simple as possible. All we need from you is your top level keyword or your top level concept or idea or theme or entity or whatever you want to call it, right? The subject matter that you're trying to reverse engineer from a data science level. We're going to get really nitty gritty and get absolutely everything on a specific subject matter. In this case today, I'm going to run BLT sandwich. I'm trying to become the absolute authority on BLT sandwich, and the Matrix model is going to help me optimize my content regardless of the platform, regardless of algorithms, regardless of anything. It's going to help me optimize my message better than any other software has ever been able to, because we're targeting something called natural language processing, which is basically the interface between human beings and robots. And so if we can get the robot to understand us better and what we mean better, then we get better results in our marketing. So when you get into this module, you put in your keyword. You can choose GPT 3.5 because we know not everyone in the world has GPT 4, but we would highly suggest that you have GPT 4. By the time you're watching this video, there may be GPT 5. There may be more advanced models. We hope so. We hope AI gets better, right? So for right now, the best model we have access to is GPT 4. We highly suggest it for this module, as GPT 3.5 can go rogue. It will not listen as well as GPT-4, and GPT-4 has 5 times the cognitive ability as 3.5. So you're going to get 5 times better, 5 times more accurate comprehension. And believe me, you need comprehension in a application like this, because when it runs all those different language model types, it's calculating all sorts of things. You want it to understand your subject matter really well. So I'm going to go ahead and click start, and I'm going to pause the video because this could take anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. This depends on your machine. This depends on your internet connection. This depends on OpenAI being up and cooperative, right? We don't control OpenAI, so we can't do much if they're having an outage or if they're doing an update or anything like that. But our application runs on Python and OpenAI, and we have this one input box to make it as absolutely simple as possible. All you do is put in your word, select your model, and click start. And you'll see here in the in the console window, it will start to tell you when each of the analysis types have run successfully. So it's going to list all 63 out, and it'll give you a done as each one completes itself. So you'll see here it's going rather quickly right now. It is not peak hours, it's late night Eastern Standard Time that I'm filming this video, so things might be going a little bit faster than they would, let's say 9 a.m. on a Monday morning, just given OpenAI's response. So I'm going to pause the video right now and let the rest of these results run, and then we'll take a look at the output file that it gives us. All right, the execution just completed, so I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the folder where the software is installed. You'll see it creates a matrix scans folder now. So all of your analysis scans will be in one folder, all of your matrix scans will be in another folder, and then all of your content will be in yet another folder to keep it organized for you. So let's go into matrix scans and let's take a look at the data it came up with. Now at first glance, this is going to be very overwhelming to you. You're going to say, oh my gosh, what do I do? But don't be alarmed. I'm going to walk you through this. So you do not need to know what each of these language models or analysis does, but from a really high level, I just want you to realize there's more than one way to cut a loaf of bread, right? So we're taking your subject matter and we're cutting it in 63 different ways, all based on natural language processing, data science, and all of the dorky things that you do not need to understand or know about to come up with a definition of your subject matter. So you'll see here as you scroll through the document, this is all 63 analysis types that were run on the subject matter. If any of them are blank, it does happen sometimes. One of the columns will be blank or 3 of the columns will be blank. It just happens to be that on that particular subject matter, we can't run that particular language analysis type. But in this case, you'll see it's a complete matrix. And what's great about the matrix is if you're trying to become, a content strategist, if you're trying to come up with ideas, this right here has a ton of ideas that you can work with. But most importantly, again, because I don't want you to be overwhelmed, so a ton of ideas here that you can use, but the most important part of this spreadsheet, so that you're not overwhelmed, is to come down here to the bottom, and there's actually 2 sheets within here, and one is the terms count sheet, right? So this basically takes all of these columns and it tallies how many times a specific subject matter, keyword, entity, concept, theme appears in all the analysis types. And what that tells us, or what that gives us, is what we call a trigger word list. This means these items are the most important items around the concept of BLT sandwich. So I think we all could have gotten this, right? At least the first couple. It's very obvious that in a BLT sandwich that bacon is literally the most important concept that you need to talk about in order to establish yourself as an authority, in order to optimize your content. Like, bacon is critical. But I'm not sure that I would have said, oh, look at this tie that's going on, right? Because is bacon more important than tomato, or is tomato more important than lettuce, or is the bread more important than the mayonnaise? Well, actually, no. Like, the pure definition of a BLT is bacon, lettuce, tomato on bread with mayonnaise. Like, that is what every robot, every algorithm, every human being should know BLT sandwiches to be. Now, you might have some humans who say, oh gosh, I would never eat a BLT with mayonnaise, but that's just their preference. If we talk about the definition of the subject matter, it has to include mayonnaise. But as we go down further, it gets more and more interesting because, like I've said in other videos, using this example of BLT sandwich, I would have never thought how important American cuisine is and talking about American cuisine if I wanted to be the expert on BLT sandwiches. I just wouldn't have come up with that. I would have never brainstormed it or considered it or used it in my marketing to begin with. So knowing that is a major trigger word. And then also seeing things like, hey, this seems to be a big lunch food, right? And they consider it a fast food, but it's also a dinner food. And it could even be a breakfast food. And you say, oh my gosh, I've never heard of a BLT for breakfast. Well, I think it might have come into play probably at like brunches, right? Who knows? But picnic food. And then we talk about things like bread. Well, how important is bread? It's super important, but how important is toasted bread? That's very important too. So if I were you, if I was in your shoes and I'm trying to be a better marketer, again, I don't care if you're writing articles or writing press releases or making social media posts or working with AI, I literally don't care. Any type of digital content marketing, this is your trigger words list. I would not pay attention to. You'll see here in this analysis, we came up with 167 related concepts or ideas to a BLT sandwich, but the ones that really, really matter, I'm going to say if it's shown up in 10 or more different language analysis models, then it's probably pretty important, right? Because it doesn't have to show up in absolutely every type, but when it does, look at that. When it does, that's the definition of the item. Nobody can argue it. We've cut it in every possible way, every way that the language could be analyzed, and each of those analysis types could be run. It's proven to you that those are the most critical items. But if I was doing marketing, I would pay attention to this list right here, and I'd copy it right out of the spreadsheet, and I'd put it in a notepad, or I'd email it to myself, or I'd give it to my marketing assistant or my marketing team or whoever, and I would say to them, every time you go make a fill in the blank, whatever, article, blog, press release, new page, Facebook post, TikTok, right? YouTube description, Flickr description, tweet, right? Any type of social post, any type of messaging, any type of advertising, in my pay-per-click ads, in my paid ads on social media platforms, any type of marketing that I'm doing, any type of advertising that I'm doing, I would consistently use these terms, because these terms are the trigger words that feed the robots that ultimately dictate our lives in a digital world, right? Because it takes the robots understanding what we're talking about in order for them to recommend and deliver people to us, right? We're looking for customers. We're looking for, new opportunities. We're looking to network. We're looking to grow our businesses, grow our brand. We're looking to better ourselves. We're looking to connect with the world. And if you do not have the right terms in your marketing, you cannot possibly connect at the level that someone who does has. So if you're looking to get ahead, this is a macro optimization opportunity. So in addition to your trigger words list that you then can run with, you could look back and you have all of these great content ideas, and you can see all of the models and different ways that those ideas have come up. Now, if you're an early adopter of Content Maxima and the Matrix module, I will hook you up with my original research spreadsheet here, and I tell you the different columns that matter for the world's biggest social platforms, right? So if you're a Facebook marketer, you're going to pay attention to these columns. If you're an Instagram marketer, you're going to pay attention to these columns, Twitter, etc., right? Or X. So this is a nice map for you to then look back at your matrix report, and you can take the words out of the 5 columns that I'm recommending, and you can further refine and make your marketing even better on those platforms. So in addition to the Matrix module, if you've subscribed to us, you can drop us a line through support. If you haven't gotten this, just go to contentmaxima.com, put in a support ticket through our contact form, and just say, hey, I want Ed's research. I've subscribed. We'll verify that you're a subscriber, and I'll share this link with you. In this link, I talk about all the different types, the analysis types. I alphabetize them. I explain the ones prioritized if you're doing search engine optimization. I give you this example that we're going over, the BLT sandwich content matrix, so that you can check that out. I show you the trigger words list. I give you an explanation of each social platform and why you should be using each of the models. I give you an example of, let's say you do a Facebook post. This is why these language types matter in your messaging. This is how it's going to help you get ahead. And then I finally give you this key that is the combination for any social media platform. So I'm not here just to sell you software. I'm here to help you become one of the best content strategists on earth. And you can do that taking our data science approach. Now, to talk further, if you're not technical, this is when I may start to lose you a little bit, but I need to give you a thorough explanation on this matrix module. I want everybody, regardless of their technical know-how, to believe in the power of this, because it's one of the most powerful marketing concepts, one of the most powerful optimization concepts that exists in the world right now. And I invented it. It's built off of other people who trained me. So if this is overwhelming to you, don't get caught up in all of this. Just come right here to the term counts tab, copy and paste any of the words that show up 10 or more times, and then go and use these words in your marketing, whether you're writing articles, making social posts, press releases, etc. For the rest of you all who want to stay for a minute and dork out further with me, I'm going to introduce you to a concept called computational linguistics. This is what I'm showing you in the Matrix module is based off of. So computational linguistics, to break this down, most people don't understand this. I'm not even an expert in this, even though you might think I am. I had to do a lot of training to figure this out. So linguistics is the study of language and structure. Regardless of the language you speak, it's just the study of your language and the structure of your language. Computational linguistics is when we start to bring in a computer, right? We're teaching a computer how to understand human language. So computational linguistics is the most macro level optimization that exists in the world today. A lot of people, especially in the SEO industry and content marketing, they will talk about semantics. They will talk about the understanding and meaning of words in marketing, right? But I don't even want to get caught up in there. I want to talk about how do I, as a human being, do a better job of speaking to robots? How do I make them understand me better? So what we are targeting with the Matrix module is natural language processing. Number 4 here. Natural language processing, also called NLP for short, is literally the interface between computational linguistics and artificial intelligence. Or to break that down so that you understand this, it's the interface of computers speaking with human beings and human beings speaking with computers. This is like the cable that comes out of your wall to deliver TV. Right? We're all doing streaming now. We got Netflix and Peacock and Hulu and all this stuff, right? HBO Max, etc. Prior to all of our streaming services, we used to hook a cable into a coaxial cable into our wall and then plug it into the back of the TV so that we could get the signal from the cable company to our house that would come into our house and then to our TV, right? That's the same kind of concept here. Natural language processing is that coaxial cable, except it's between the computer and us as human beings. So when we look at optimizing content, most people are worried about on-page and off-page SEO. Some people worry about their Google business profiles. Other people worry about tier 1 properties or blogs like their WordPress and Tumblr and Mediums and all that stuff. And then the rest of the world is focused on social media, right? Your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, your Pinterest. Some people who dork out a little further than most then are worried about something called schematic architecture, which is just basically a bot language specifically for search engines to tie all of their marketing together, right? And then claim social properties saying, hey, like, this is my website, this is my Google business profile, this is my Facebook page. You're putting all of your assets together in this language that robots understand. And then from there, the robot can derive understanding because it uses natural language processing to break down your content regardless of if it's on your website or if it's on your Google profile or if it's on your Facebook page, right? Instagram. It's reading your images and your text and even watching your videos these days, and it's deriving all of the understanding that it possibly can through natural language processing. And then after that point, it applies its algorithms. So, YouTube watches your video, derives all the meaning it can out of it, and then applies its algorithm. Facebook reads your post, looks at your image, derives all the understanding it can, and then applies an algorithm to it. Google, if you're doing SEO, reads your blog article, derives meaning out of your words and your images, and if you embedded a video, and then it applies an algorithm to it. So the reason I'm reiterating this and kind of beating a dead horse is we are targeting natural language processing, which is the most macro level optimization that we could possibly target. This, regardless of platform, regardless of your industry, your niche, anything that you're after, if you're trying to absolutely dominate as a business, as a brand, as an individual online, as a marketer, as a content strategist, as a writer, it doesn't matter. Anybody doing anything digital marketing needs to pay attention to this because it's the most macro level optimization before any platform's algorithm is applied. So I hope this makes sense. I hope this encourages you to try out the Matrix module. And again, it can look big and scary looking at all these different language analysis types and thinking that you have to understand any of this, and you don't. We've made this as easy and as simple as possible. You're going to launch Content Maxima. You're going to click the Matrix button. The Matrix module pops open. You're going to put in whatever keyword concept that you want to dissect at the science level, right? The data science level, like brain surgeons in there. You'll choose your OpenAI model. You'll click start. You'll walk away. You'll get a cup of coffee. Again, it's going to take 30 to 45 minutes. At least some of you on a slower machine, slower internet connection. This could take up to an hour to run one single word, but That word gets broken down into this beautiful matrix. It gives you all sorts of great content ideas that are highly, highly relevant from the data science standpoint. And then most importantly, it gives you this list of trigger words that you then can take and put into your content, put into your marketing. I don't care if you're writing an article or a blog or a press release or a social media post. If you put these words in those posts consistently over and over and over again, any robot, any platform, they're going to understand what you're talking about. And then they're going to start to deliver the customers and the people that you're looking for in this world. And then you're going to start to make money, right? And that's what the whole game is about. So I hope I have broken down the matrix module of Content Maxima for you. If you have questions or concerns, head on over to contentmaxima.com, go to contact, drop us a ticket, and we will get back to you as soon as we possibly can. Thanks so much for trying our software. We hope to see you soon.